Hey there, how y'all doing today? This is Data, getting ready to go on trail, and I thought I was done shooting pre-trail videos, but a couple of folks have asked me how I'm feeding myself on trail, both because they're new to backpacking or just thinking about it, or because they've never cold soaked and have some questions about how I do that, or they are cold soakers and they are comparing approaches. So this is my approach for this trip to a food supply for a full 5-day hike on the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to pan side to side and go through each part of it and give you some rough calorie estimates. But for starters, because we're staying at hostels for a couple of nights, I needed to come up with 3 breakfasts, 5 lunches, 5 snacks, both morning and evening, morning and afternoon, and only 2 dinners. So that's what I have before you here, and I'm going to pan to the left and start with my breakfasts. So here we have my breakfasts. Like I said, I had to come up with 3 breakfasts because we're going to be at hostels 2 of the 5 mornings. So, starting from the bottom up, each breakfast on the days that I have a full breakfast on camp are going to be, this is 2 packets of instant oatmeal, 1 plain, 1 with low sugar, and a Paleo Valley venison stick, which is naturally fermented, a little bit healthier than some of the other things that I've seen online. Doesn't have any preservatives or any maltodextrin or anything like that in it. And then my morning breakfast drink, which is in this packet all mixed together already, which consists of the equivalent of 2 Starbucks instant coffees and 1 scoop of a protein powder that's plant-based protein and 1 scoop of a collagen powder. The collagen powder is vanilla flavored. The protein powder is chocolate flavored, so it's kind of like a mocha latte flavor. It's pretty good. So I've got 3 of those kinds of breakfasts. And then I've got 2 more of the coffees in the Paleo Valleys for the mornings, even when we're at the hostels, because even though I'll be eating probably a pretty healthy breakfast there, I like to start my day with that protein powder and coffee, just because it kind of kick-starts my day. I mix all those up in that cup. It's a collapsible cup from a company called Hideaway, so it flattens down. I just put the coffee mixture in there and put a bunch of water in there and shake it up, and it goes down fine. But before I have any breakfast, and this is part of dealing with not having a glucose spike in the morning to help deal with my blood sugar issues, I start off my morning with a couple of carrots, a couple of baby carrots that have already been peeled. From watching different folks online talk about how to deal with being pre-diabetic like I am, or being diabetic, it's good to start my breakfast in the morning with some kind of fiber and some proteins. So the venison sticks are the proteins, and I'll try to do the carrot first, and then the coffee drink because it's got a protein powder in it, along with the venison stick, and then the oatmeal last because it's got a lot more carbohydrates in it, a lot more calories. And so before I introduce those carbs and those sugars into my system, it helps me, I'm told, and it seems like this works, if I eat the carrots and give my body some fiber, because that slows down the digestive process and makes the absorption of the sugar in the other parts of my breakfast at a more steady pace. I don't get so much of a glucose spike. And if I do that in the right order in the morning, by the time I eat one of these whole breakfasts and I have the oatmeal last and then head out of camp, by the time the glucose starts into my system in the morning, I'm already moving, so that glucose gets burned up pretty quickly by the muscles. So that's very healthy. And this is probably about a 600 calorie breakfast, something like that, 600 or 700 calories. And I think it's a pretty healthy breakfast. I am looking for suggestions or for other things that folks who deal with things like being pre-diabetic on trail or having other special dietary needs would suggest would be great. I also repack some of the carrots into one of those small bags to eat during the course of the day as I hike as one of my snacks. So those are my 3 breakfasts plus the 2 sets of coffees even for the day when I'm at a hostel. At the hostels, I'm going to try to eat eggs and sausage and stay away from carbs at breakfast, but also have my breakfast mixture. So, and panning to the right. At the top, you'll see, so these are my snacks, my lunches, so my morning snacks, my lunches, and my afternoon snacks. So again, I'll have some of the carrots that are over there prepackaged. I'll also repackage some of this big bag of granola, and the granola is a mixture of my own. It's a set of kind of mixed nuts, especially with a little extra walnuts and pecans in them, and just a few peanuts. So it's mostly tree nuts, not seed nuts. And then I have a few raisins in them that don't have any added sugar. And I don't have a lot of raisins in there, but it has a little bit of a sugar content to it. And then throughout the day as I hike, I have, for my snacks as I stroll, I have these smaller, they call them mini beef sticks and mini turkey sticks that are from Archer. They're no sugar added, 0 sugar. And then I have a peanut pack of peanut butter that's the Justin's peanut butter with honey in it. And then I have an electrolyte mix. And that comes out to, the peanut butter pack's a couple of hundred calories itself. So all told, that's another 300 or 400 calories. And the liquid IV is the no or low sugar, no sugar added, sugar-free liquid IV. Again, trying to keep my sugar and my carbohydrates down consciously throughout the day. And then next we have lunches. My lunches are a Quest bar and a Paleo Valley venison stick. I like these Paleo Valley venison sticks because they're naturally fermented, and I like the venison. It's got a nice flavor to it, and it's a mix. It's a change or a difference from the smaller sticks I have that fit in the pockets of my backpack well, because they're turkey and beef. And then as you can see, I tried to have 5 different flavors of Quest bars for lunch. The Quest bars are a couple of hundred calories a piece, but they have a lot of protein in them, not very much sugar, and a little bit of carbohydrates, but not bad. And so all told, that's probably another 300 or 400 calories for lunch. Sometimes I just eat that as almost like a third snack, like on a short break. Sometimes I actually take a boots off, pack off break and sit and enjoy these 2, and then maybe have some of my other snacks from the day, like some of the granola or something else. Kind of depends on, if it's a very long day, like on this hike, we have one day that's over 16 miles. That day, I suspect we might want to take a longer lunch break, so I might eat more food at lunch while I'm sitting there. And then next I have afternoon snacks. And again, it's a Justin's peanut butter with honey in it, and 2 of these mini meat sticks from Archer, and another electrolyte mix. And obviously on any given day I can change which of the 2 electrolyte mixes. I may have the Element in the morning and the liquid IV in the afternoon or whatever. I'm not really set on that, but the snacks all get packed out in the morning into my side pockets, and the lunches get stored in an outside pocket. So the goal is there I don't have to open up my pack at all during the day to get nourishment. I guess while I'm over here up at the top, there's my data icon, which Mrs. Data now likes for me to leave at home. So I leave it at home, and she sits it out someplace prominent so she can see it while I'm out on the trail and think of me, I guess. I don't know. She likes it, so it stays here instead of goes hiking with me. You can see my cold soak jar and spoon and fork on the other side. That's my whole kitchen kit right there. Well, except for the drink bottle I showed you earlier. And then last but not least, I have my dinners now. I only need to pack 2 dinners for this trip, which is kind of cool. So I'm just going to, almost kind of like the Quaker values of trying to keep things simple. I'm just going to go with ramen. I've got, these are Mike's Mighty Ramen, so they don't have as many additives in it. They don't have hardly any additives in them. They're a little bit healthier. They're still, pretty high in carbs. But I add a packet of tuna to them. One's flavored, one's not. And I add a couple of packets of olive oil. It equals about 2/3 of a teaspoon of, is it teaspoon or tablespoon? So, sorry, it's 0.66 of a fluid ounce of olive oil to each of those. And it takes about a half an hour, a little bit more maybe, for the ramen to cold soak. And it's got a seasoning packet in it that's pretty high in salt. So I tend to only use half or 2/3 of the seasoning packet. And then once it's cold soaked, then I add in the tuna and the olive oil and mix it all around. Let it soak for another 5 minutes or so. And that's another like 600 or 700 calories. So as you can see, I'm trying to get about 600 or 800 calories in the morning, 1,200 or so calories through the day, and another 400 to 600 calories in the evening. And that gets me up. I'm not going to do the math off the top of my head, but I think I'm about 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day, something like that. And if I add all this up when I'm done, and that's not quite how far up I am in calories, I'll probably add in another Quest bar because they're a couple hundred calories a piece and a ton of carbs. And then last but not least, because I'm hiking on the Appalachian Trail and not the Ice Age Trail, this time I do have to be concerned about bears. There have been bears reported on far out in the areas we're going to be hiking in within the past month. So not nuisance bears necessarily, but they're around. So I have the large Ursack, so I can hang that Ursack bag, which is made out of Kevlar, from a tree, and the bears can't get through it. And then to try to tamp down the possibility they even know that there's food in there, I store all of this stuff in a set of smelly proof bags, which are a kind of reusable Ziploc bag with like a 5-row seal on them and a thicker level of poly, so they don't let smells out. So everything here will be packaged in one of those bags, even though a lot of it's packaged itself, and I'll have a separate bag like that just for my trash. So that's it for the meal plan. I hope that this is enough for 5 days of food on trail. I think that it is. Again, if not, I'm going to be at a hostel the first couple of days. So if I get there and decide this isn't quite enough for breakfast, snacks, lunch, snacks, and or dinner, then I can always add to this maybe en route. But I don't think so. And the nice thing about these shorter section hikes is I get to pack all of this food out at the beginning, and I don't have to worry about resupplying along route. And I kind of know what I'm going to be eating when. So if I get to day 3 and I'm going through my food too fast, then I have to think about options. But I'll have options because I'm on the Appalachian Trail. And again, one of those differences between the Appalachian Trail and the Ice Age Trail is there are resupply options aplenty all over the Appalachian Trail, much different than on the Ice Age Trail. So there would be opportunities at a couple different points for me to add to this food store, especially over the first 2 days if I decide I'm going through it too fast. And so that's my whole meal plan from here. And I'm going to pack all this up and weigh it. And I might put a note in here on about how much all of this weighs in the end. So here, all that 5-day or 3 to 5 day, however you want to think about that, food supply is all packed up. You see it fit into 5 smelly proof bags. That's the black Ursack bag at the bottom. The Ziploc bag on it is the day 1 food, and I won't need to have it in a smelly proof bag because it's going to go right in my pockets on day 1 of my day pack. All of that, except for, of course, the little puffy thing of data, will end up in that Ursack bag, and then I'll weigh that, and I'll have some sense of what my food carry weight will be like. It adds to my pack here in just a minute. And there it is, all packed away in my Ursack. My day 1 food isn't included because it won't be in the backpack, and my spoon goes in my fanny pack. But added to the pack I'll be carrying are 7 pounds and 13 plus ounces of food. So that's going to pump the pack weight up a little bit. But again, each day you eat a couple of pounds of food, or a pound and a half. Obviously, you divide 7 by 5 and see how quickly this will go. And we're staying in hostels the first 2 nights. So while the food carry during the day on day 2 will be at this weight, this will be down to 6 pounds probably, or less, by the time I hit trail on day 3 for the part of the hike where we're not staying in hostels. So there you have it. 7 pounds of food for 5 days on trail. I guess this is Data once again saying happy trails to each of you.